Alright, EVO AEG mags. I hate you, Hollywood. Alright, I just assembled one of these things. It's pretty interesting. It's real simple. Be very cautious. Springs, they fly, and if you lose one, you have to hunt it down, and it really is not fun. First and foremost, you got a little detent on the bottom. Go ahead and press this detent down, and then work the magic off. Once you get that off, you're golden. Okay, everything's kept in there. There's a little pin here. What I found works really good is a simple punch, but I don't have one because those tools are at the shop. So I found a nice little 1/16. So if you can find a 1/16 punch, it works really good for this. Tap it out either direction, it doesn't matter. It's not a set design. Just push it out. Alright. Now, before you get all crazy and start pushing the magazine up, there are two little keepers and two little springs that maintain the keepers. Those are fun if you lose them. So what I suggest is slide your finger just a little bit up, just to where you can get the tension off, and let it fall out in your hand on one side. Set them in a magnetic tray. Do the same thing on the other side. And as I said, they're just small little springs. Set it off into a magnetic tray. Now, before you get all willy-willy, slowly go up. There is a retainer here for your spring. Put your finger on it. Why? This is fun. Simple little, just to dislodge it, just enough. And this thing's gonna pop all over the place. I'm gonna cry again. Now the reason that you're not wanting to pull this whole magazine, the internal shell out, there's nothing binding it together. It's all being compressed by your outer case. Take the spring out, and the spring starts coming out. Plastic. Follower should not come out, nothing should come out, just a straight up spring. Now you can pull it apart, and this is what I was telling you about. That's it, shell. And this thing, there's nothing. Set it down, open it up. All right, it looks a little busy. You got 4 components that are inside there. You got your follower. This is the top of your spring, but this also works your cutoff lever in order for you to be able to have your last mag. It auto shuts off and you have to do a mag change. The reinstall is very simple. You fell apart, you fix it. Take another one. Look at the direction of which way this little lever is. If you look at it, little protrusion sticking out, smooth as baby. Goes like that. It's best to work from the bottom. Slide in the upper hole, have it tilted all the way up. There's a little weird L-shaped cantilever. Everything's equal side. It didn't look like it, but there is a slight difference. You got a little bit broader side here. Let me try that again. Broad side, skinny side. Skinny side. Sorry. The skinny side, big side of the actual pivot arms. Skinny side will fit where it needs to. It's a one-way only done. So now that's in there. Now, put your follower in there. Doesn't matter which way, there's no real thing. It's a nice little convenient design. Stick that in the top. Make sure this little lever is facing in towards the arm assemblies. Underneath, as such. Okay, if you guys can see that, that's cool. If you can't, suck. close the case halves together. It doesn't hurt to hear it move, so you can make sure your arm's pivoting. That's still caught in the chamber, so you're good. With it still held, slide it back in all the way up to where your spring's supposed to go in. This is not easy. There's no real direction on which way the springs. They're both matched out the same way. It's equidistant. This just happens to be the way I put it in. Slidey, slidey. You can tell whenever that second follower hits there, won't let me go do anything. So now it's working right. It's doing what it's supposed to. Just like any other spring, you're going to have to guide it in gently, let it do its business. Try to get your fingers in there somewhat however you can. Take a pocket screwdriver, works better to make sure everything's all straight. Alright, there's a little pin at the bottom. Slide the pin in the top of the hole the best you can. Try to point it in a safe direction, because I've done this a couple times and this will probably end up doing the same thing it did before. But it throws a spring out into your face and it's not a good thing. Get it into that spot. Yep, there we go. All right. Then lift it up so you can get in there, and it retains itself back in. Slide it down so it doesn't accidentally do. All right, for your keepers, the BB keepers, best thing to do is whenever you get to that point, you basically want this a little bit seated in the first time you do it. So, slanted angles, goes inward, the ribs are at the top. As this is designed, this goes towards the outside of the shell, this goes towards the keeper itself. So it slides in somewhat like that. Try to get it to where it catches it on bind, so that way you can keep your finger on it and maneuver on the other side. Same thing as before. Slide the keeper in. Lift it up. Make sure your finger's on that spring keeper assembly. Same thing as the other side. The longer end will face inward towards the BB channel. Slide it down. Once it locks in, everything's in. Keep finger on it just to make sure. You want to test it out, go ahead and press it down. The BB keeper should be able to retain your actual follower as such. Then take your pin. Just slide right in. Get it flush on both sides. Take your base plate. Get lined up for the first two lines. Press down. And that is it. And go ahead and fill it up with mags. Fill it with BBs. Make sure that it works. Eject them. I get about 75 rounds per each one of these. No issues. Hope you have a good day.